I have a pretty intense but powerful message for a collective that is going through a huge shift on their spiritual journey. And I'm going to tell you, if you're in this collective, you're pretty advanced on your spiritual journey. This isn't your first awakening. This isn't your first level. You most likely work with some of your gifts, your clairs. You work with the energy around you. I'll say that. You're able to receive messages and trust in those messages if this reading is for you. You have just gone through a time where it felt like you were caught in a maze. I heard Alice in Wonderland. I heard Wonderland. It's like you've been circling around the same lessons, the same people, or the same patterns over and over and over again, and you're recognizing the similarities. And I want to tell you, you're not going in a circle, you are going in a spiral, but you are coming up against similar energies or similar lessons and patterns. You know, Wonderland brings a dreamlike, almost surreal energy. Things are magical, but also a little disorienting, like you don't know what's real and what's an illusion. As I was receiving this message, the song Runaround played, which really fit with it because there's a frustration here about being pushed and pulled in all kinds of different directions, being led in circles, giving half-truths, or even deceived, whether by someone else or your own expectations. It almost feels like there's been a dance happening with shadow energy. And for the right collective, that doesn't scare you. You're no stranger to shadows. You've done a lot of shadow work. There's more of a frustration here, of the need to step out of a loop, of the need to reclaim your rhythm again after all the work you've done. But remember, and just remember this throughout this message, you haven't been circling, you have been spiraling. Okay, spiraling up. Also, for the right collective, you're very much grounded. If you're not grounded, take a break from TikTok, take a break from any kind of spiritual messages, and get in your body. All right, that just needs to be said. And every one of these kinds of messages, that needs to be said, because this is for people that understand that you need to stay grounded to do the kind of work that you do. I think the most annoying part about this whole energy is, you know, that this shadow dance and having to get out of the loop is all part of something that is necessary, and it's frustrating. Even though it's annoying, there's something very powerful happening with this understanding of being in a place once again. You're remembering that you don't have to play along with anyone else's games, even the universes, even the energy that you work with. You don't have to. You're reaching a point where you are ending the confusions, the lies, the games, the self-sabotage. Because you're on the brink of yet another awakening, a higher perspective. You're at the end of the point of that spiral that you are rising through while dancing with shadows. So we're gonna pull a card on it. Now this is going to be a positive message, because after the song Runaround played, a meditation for this deck, the Kuan Yin Oracle, played. And it was Supreme Blessings of Kuan Yin. You may work with divine feminine energy or maternal energies around you. They may have helped you through your awakening. Dragons may be significant. Sophia may be significant. So we're gonna see what the message is. I mean, I think we already have the main idea, but we're gonna pull one card. Just take deep breaths. That's the other thing. You might have heaviness in your heart chakra area that may be going on, and your throat. Here, the yellow tiger mother. 13 is the number of the divine feminine, and I really want to bring that up because I was saying you are very much led by your divine feminine energy, okay? 13 also was made to be the unlucky number. Surprise, surprise, right? Because they always want to make anything feminine negative. And I think there's a powerful remembrance of that happening within you. I think that is also, there's a frustration and a rage, right? An inner rage that you carry for the divine feminine that you work with within you. And I think part of that's coming through because it feels like you have all this work that you've been doing and that there's so much work, but also feminine energy is all about receiving, but that's kind of, it's contradicting to some of your journey. Okay, but I'm going to read this. Sometimes we must be strong and hold true whilst all around us seems to be shifting and changing. The yellow tiger mother, Kuan Yin, in her guardian role, is roaring her divine sound within you. She asks you to hear her, to remember that you are a powerful being of light, and even whilst you're in flow with universal forces, your strong roots help you be at peace with your truth, standing your ground whilst your light shines true. I'm going to read this whole thing. I normally don't do that, but I'm reading this whole card because I know there's a message for each and every one of you in here. There's something in here that's going to resonate, okay? So I'm reading the whole thing. In our surrender to divine forces, there are times when we must be flexible and flow, and then there are times when the surrender is into holding strong and being true to your inner knowing. There are inner truths that we know are worthy of the effort to grow strong enough to honor them in our lives. These are the truths of kindness, compassion, and the right of each individual being to be spiritually free and loved and more. The yellow tiger mother sounds her roaring note within you. She's a fierce protecting tigress, and yellow is her golden strength and wisdom. She urges you to listen for her sound within and trust yourself. You know when you need to stand your ground and not be swayed. You are more powerful, strong, and courageous than you may realize. Your strength is not stubbornness or resistance. It is holding firm to what you feel in your heart to be true, and in the time, you will come to realize the wisdom of your courage. Your strength at this time is needed, like a protective shield providing nurturing to a young plant. Your strength and refusal to be dissuaded from your truths helps your dreams and higher path continue to manifest. Allow yourself to hear the yellow tiger mother as she gifts you with power, strength, and knowing. Be brave and stay true to yourself, beloved. There's something specifically happening in your life that you're facing right now, and it doesn't even have to be physical. This could be a pattern within yourself, a pattern of self-sabotage, but it has something to do with trusting in your own inner guidance and not going outside of yourself for answers. With Wonderland, I keep thinking things aren't as they seem. And I think that's something you need to, that's a message. Things are not as they seem. They aren't. So just keep trusting in that inner voice in yourself, and just remember to stay in your compassion for yourself and for others. Stay true to you. This is a powerful turning point where you leave that maze behind, okay? So get excited, listen within, and take care of you.